Hello, welcome back to the Elyse DeLucci Show. I'm your host, Elyse, and welcome to my living room. We're broadcasting live from my apartment on the Upper East Side. Episode 10, I feel like we're at a milestone, you know? This is a big deal to me. Double digits. I'm a podcaster with double-digit episodes. Can you believe that? Anyway, this is what we're talking about today. Why is everybody so busy? You know what I'm talking about. Every person you call, what do you do? Busy? You're on Facebook. How have you been? So busy. It's like, really? This is the new social currency, busy. We're going to talk about that. How about this? Do you care if the person you're dating, do you care if you find out that he's keeping memories of his ex-girlfriend? You know, so you're dating a guy and all of a sudden you find out he has, a steamer trunk full of pictures of his ex. That bother you? We're going to get into that. And then someone asked me on TikTok, they told me that they've been single after getting out of a really, really long relationship, and they asked me for any tips. I was married and now single mom, so I have some tips, and I think we should talk about like a little bit on the dirty side tips. Nobody needs to hear that you should get in shape and go to the gym, right? Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. Stay tuned, grab a cocktail, take a sip, and enjoy talking to me, your bestie, Elyse. Fact of the day. This is a crazy fact. The world's population can fit inside Los Angeles. Can you believe that? So the world's total population is a little under 8 billion people. And that's obviously a humongous number. But it sounds a little bit more manageable if we understand that if all of those almost 8 billion people stood shoulder to shoulder, they can all fit within a 500 square mile area, which is Los Angeles. Isn't that crazy? It's like calling everybody in the world to get on a plane to LA so we can all line up and make sure that this is a real fact. But this is a real fact because it's from Nat Geo. It's from the National Geographic magazine. I read it. It's true. Anyway, so how are you? How's your week? Is it good? You know what? I wanted to tell you how much I love duck sauce. Do you like duck sauce? First of all, I love Chinese food. American Chinese food. You know, if you go like to Europe, the Chinese food's obviously totally different. But I love American Chinese food. I love duck sauce. And for whatever reason, not all duck sauces are created equal, okay? So I feel like I'm a duck sauce connoisseur when it comes to supermarket duck sauce. Like, you can go and they have all these different brands, but I found a really good one. It's called Susie's sauce. Susie's sauce. It's a jar of sauce. It has like a yellow top, you screw it off. Clear jar. It has a label with a picture of a little girl on it. It's delicious. I just wanted to say that to you because I had some chicken, some grilled chicken and brown rice earlier. So boring. And I was on my 5th bite of my gagging diet, and I was like, how can I spice this shit up? So I was like, duck sauce. But all duck sauce really is like peach jam. So I basically just covered it in sugar. And then still thought I told myself that I was dieting. Anyway. So, also on the how's your week note, have you started holiday shopping? One of my girlfriends, Priscilla, hi Priscilla, if you're listening. I love that name. Isn't that a great name? But she told me last month she started her Christmas shopping. She's good like that. But I haven't started mine, but every year goes by. It makes me sad that my kids are never going to really know the joy of Toys R Us, Remember that when you were a kid? Getting to go to Toys R Us, running through the bike aisle like a banshee, picking up those big wheels and just spinning them all over the store. Oh, it was the best thing ever. I mean, of course, I've taken my kids to Target and Kohl's and to the toy section, but they've only been to one dedicated toy store their entire lives. It's a toy store called Hamleys. It's in the UK. We would go back and forth to the UK to my ex's family. I probably should tell you about that. You would probably die, like going to Wales, rural Wales, like me, a New Yorker. I was the only one wearing leopard. I'm walking into a pub with 4 people. I mean, there's some funny stories there. Anyway, I took my kids to this toy store, Hamleys. It's at hamleys.com if you want to check it out. Hamleys, I believe. But we went there in Cardiff in Wales. That's where his family's from. So they only been to one toy store. How about your kids? Okay, the other thing I did this week, I feel like I have a lot of this week things, is I watched the best movie. The movie is, well, if you like New York movies, which I do, I'm biased. If you like New York movies, if you like movies about architecture, artsy movies, documentaries, I love documentaries. There's this awesome movie. It's on Amazon. It's called Jay Myself. Jay space myself. The movie is about this photographer, Jay Mizell, who is a New Yorker through and through. And it's about the building that he lives in. And so, if you are in New York, you probably know about this, but if you're not, I'll tell you this story quickly. So there's, on the Bowery, so Bowery Street downtown in Manhattan, right? We call it on the Bowery. So on the Bowery, there was all these old, horrible buildings, whatever, forever. Now it's a cool neighborhood, by the way. There's like the ice cream museum there, which is crazy to me. But anyway, so all these old buildings, and in the 1960s, there was a bank. There was a big building. 190 Bowery was the address, and it used to be a bank. It was 36,000 square feet. It was called Germania Bank, Germany Bank, or something like this. I don't know. I'm not a language expert, but anyway. And the bank closed, and there was this building for sale, 190 Bower Street. And Jay Mizell, the photographer, was looking to buy an apartment or a building or something, because that's what we were able to do in the 60s in New York. Now you can't even touch a studio. But anyway, so he had a realtor, and the realtor sold this building for $100,000. And fast forward to now-ish times, maybe about 5 years ago, he sold the building for $55 million. It was the largest private real estate deal ever to close in Manhattan. But better than that is that if you live in New York and you ever walked by 190 Bowery, you know the building. It's huge, 36,000 square feet, giant, tall building, graffiti all over it, had padlocks on it. And the thought that some family lived in there is just wild. I worked in the neighborhood for a bunch of years, so I would always walk by and I would be like, oh my God, what is this building? It's crazy. Sometimes I'd see a doorbell sticker that says, like, ring for Jay Mizell or something. I had no idea that a family lives in there. This old, derelict, graffitied up building. And it's just fascinating to me. I love stuff like that. I love it. And my family's from that area also. So it's just so cool. So the movie's called Jay Myself. If you like documentaries, if you like real New Yorky sort of documentaries, it's not funny or anything. It's just talks about the history, and it's so cool. And by the way, he once rented out one of the floors in his apartment building to Roy Lichtenstein. And Roy Lichtenstein, pop art, he did that like sort of pixelated, comic-y sort of art. Just so cool. Anyway. Okay. On to the topics. Do you have a boyfriend? A husband? Or have you ever have? I know that's a yes. Do you care if your spouse keeps memories of his ex? So my girlfriend and I were talking about this, and she was like, I can't stand this guy I'm dating. He tells me he has like Nike boxes full of memories from the ex-Elyse. What do you think about that? And I feel like it's hard, What do you think about that? What do you think? I mean, on one hand, the irrational lunatic side of me is like, burn him, break up with him, shrines to you all over the house. But we're not 13, right? I mean, the reality situation, and I told her, is like, if you really value this relationship, you're gonna have to. What could you do? All you have to do is accept this, accept that he's gonna hang on to these memories, accept that he has this box or boxes, Air Jordan boxes full of memories. Tolerate the fact that he's had a past before you, and maybe realize that he wouldn't be the person that he is today if he hadn't gone through those experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, and I also said that, here's the thing, it's any person's right to keep things from their past, whether it's, pictures or scrapbooks or whatever. I mean, you could keep whatever the hell you want. There's a big double standard in this thing, by the way, because us girls, I feel like we keep a lot of this kind of shit. And then we date a guy, and, if we find out they have stuff from their ex, we go crazy. And listen, I've been there. I mean, when I was younger, but here's the thing. I told her, your thoughts and your actions matter in this situation. Don't make a problem out of nothing. I said, so you found out he has this stuff. What are you going to do? I said, you have to control yourself. I said, but I also said, do you feel insecure, like, about his commitment to you? Do you feel like he looks around? Because otherwise, I mean, like, who cares? Like, let him be a hoarder. Let him be a dirty hoarder. Who cares? You know, you just got to accept the fact that he's had a past. That's the situation. And listen, if you don't trust him, then that's a bigger issue. So I said, you have to think about inside yourself. Like, does this have to do with the fact that you're just crazy jealous and you've always been like that? Is this because you just want him to like rid, magic eraser clean, scrub clean his entire past history? Well, come on. You got to really think about this. Or is it the fact that you think he's a cheater, or he's still in love with her, or he's not that in love with you, whatever. And by the way, I said to her, whatever the situation is, how about this? Go get one of your shoe boxes, okay? Wrap it in some wrapping paper, write your name on it, and start putting your own shit in there. Throw a pair of underwear in there, a scrunchie, maybe a dep hair gel, and give it to him. And say, here's my box. So stop filling this shit up. Right? I mean, God. But right, overall, I said, I don't think you should create a problem where it exists. And listen, I'm not perfect. Please. I feel like maybe my younger self is probably my 18-year-old younger self has probably told boyfriends, like, cut her head out of the picture right now. I'm leaving you. But I wouldn't do that now. And by the way, if it's his ex-wife, you got it. Like that can't happen. It wasn't. This was a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. No past spouses, no past marriages, no kids. But if it was a past wife or husband, oh no, you can't. Come on. Anyway. What the fuck is up with everybody being so busy? Can we talk about that? Busy, in my opinion, it's the new social status. Humble brag. So busy, humble brag. Sorry, not sorry. No, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry because you're embarrassing yourself because you're so busy. It's making everybody vomit. Like Elle Woods, vomit. Really? I mean, look, I think I said this before in another episode. COVID, everyone's busy. Everyone has everything going on. But even when you're not busy, why are you throwing around this word? Me included, by the way. I say this. People, what do you do? Busy. I call my girlfriend Monica. What do you do? Busy. No, Monica, you're not busy because you called me on FaceTime and I'm watching you sit on your lazy boy with your feet up, buffing your nails. Is that you? That's busy to you? You're not busy. You're not busy, Monica. But busy is a social status these days. It used to be, right? Like, this is the funny thing. I mean, look, if you ask, like, the baby boom generation, or if you're in the baby boom generation, or depression era, I would say, I don't even know baby boom, maybe depression era folks, they'll say, what was social status then? What was social? They'll say somebody that didn't work, a lady that lived a life of leisure. I mean, that was social status. Somebody that didn't work, lived a life of leisure, lunched all day, and when you open up their cabinet, you saw, General International Foods, French vanilla in a can in the cabinet. That's when you know you really made it, right? Right, Donna? You made it when in your coffee and tea cabinet, you got that General Foods French vanilla in a little rectangle can. What happens to that, by the way? That to me was fancy. That was the Swiss Alps in a box. That was my dream Swiss chalet in a food packaging thing. I thought when people had that, they were really highfalutin and fancy. But now, now us Americans, maybe if you're busy, if you're in demand, if you're popular, I think you have the allure of mystique. You're so busy like a slippery fish, you can't be caught. You got a full-time job while you're bootstrapping your tech startup on the side. You got twins, a husband. Oh my God, I got 3 iPhones for my job. Can you imagine? Can you believe that? I don't even have time to pee. I accidentally expanded my bladder, so now I'm going for liposuction. That's this 2020. Well, 2019, because 2020, it's ridiculous this year. But that's it. You're so goddamn busy. You got no time for anybody. That's it. I'm so fancy. And so I was thinking about this. Why is this the case? Why is this a social status? And I think I got it. The idea of the American dream, to buy your house, buy your apartment, have your kids, go on your couple vacations a year, have money in the bank. That's really effing hard, by the way. But the idea of the American dream, those people that work so hard, they are the ones that are perceived that they have the money in the bank, that they're going on vacations every year, that they own their house or houses, that they have the ability to climb the status of that social ladder. That's what I think it is. If you say you're busy, it sounds like you're successful. It sounds like you make some dough, and everybody should want to be you. Well, you want to know what? Fuck that. Fuck it. I'm not going to say I'm busy anymore. I'm going to be doing nothing. What are you doing? Bupkis. Bupkis, want to come over? And, by the way, girls, is busy really good? I mean, getting busy is good. Wish that happens a little more in my life. But is busy good? Because you want to know what? Stress-related issues. Hello, cardiovascular health. Your hair falls out. Your hair goes gray when you're stressed and you're busy. Anyway. And by the way, you forget shit because your mind's so cluttered. Your mind's like Grand Central Station. Anyway, so somebody wrote to me on TikTok and they said in the DMs, and we're not doing our question and answers yet. It was just a thing, and I felt like it deserved its own topic. They said, they're recently single after a 2-year relationship with their son's father. By the way, if this is you, hi. I don't remember your name, your handle, your TikTok handle, but I will write you back and say that I answered the question on the podcast. Anyway, so she said to me, hey, Elyse, do you have any dating tips? And I felt like this isn't a quick Q&A. And I also had a little story that when she wrote this to me, it reminded me of it. And so here's the thing. When I became single, okay, I had a sleepover with a guy friend, and this is true. This is a true story. I mean, all my stories are true, but this is true. It wasn't a romantic thing. It was just a guy friend, and we went out. We were having some drinks, and I just was tired. I didn't feel like getting home. He didn't want to, take me in a cab home and whatever. So he's like, nah, just sleep on my couch. And I was like, all right, fine. And of course I was like lonely and recently single, and I didn't give a shit if I was sleeping in somebody's dog crate on the floor. I was happy to be in the house with somebody, So he gave me some sweats. He gave me some sweats and whatever. And then I asked him if he had any, you're going to die, socks, some fuzzy socks and earplugs. And he was like, are you kidding me? And he did. He didn't have fuzzy socks. He had big like tube socks, and he did have earplugs. And I got changed in the sweatpants and the big t-shirt, and I put on the socks and I put the earplugs in, and I put a pillow over my face, and I laid down on the couch, and I put the blankets on. I said, good night. And he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm going to sleep. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, you're waking up. He's like, because you're recently single. He's like, and we're just friends. He's like, Elyse, but I got to tell you, you've been married for a while and you can't do this shit. He's like, if you ever have an overnight with a guy, he's like, you can't put fuzzy socks and earplugs in. And so this is why I wanted to talk about this question, because I think it's a good one. When we're married or we're in a really long relationship and then we become single, I feel like we forget like those crazy ass things that we do, like you sleep in eye mask, a gas mask, a sleep apnea machine, earplugs, and your hair and rollers. You get sick, you become single, and you're with a new person. You're like, maybe either you're gonna dress like a sex kitten, maybe the first time, and then the second time you might be like Edith Bunker in the bedroom, and you go into that routine. Well, fuck sex kitten. I just went right into Edith Bunker mode, earplugs and the socks and everything, even though it was just a friend. He was like, Elyse, take off the socks and take out the earplugs, and you're not sleeping with the pillow on your eyes, because he said, we are going to get you comfortable with sleeping like a normal human being. He's like, now you're going to keep my clothes on and you're going to still stay on the couch. He's like, but come on. And that really, that was like a funny moment to me, because it was like, oh shit, like I guess I am single and I guess I have to get this shit together. And so my tips for, it's tips. Like, who the hell am I? Like, the things that I did, I want to tell you. There's obviously the obvious stuff, self-care. When you get divorced, do self-care, get in shape, do your hobbies, meditate, go out with your friends. I get it. Of course, we should all do that shit. For me, by the way, my self-care was doing stand-up. I love doing stand-up. The clubs are closed right now in New York. I can't wait for them to open, but I just did a show last weekend in Jersey. I have another show this upcoming weekend in Staten Island. But for me, stand-up was like one of my self-care things. Besides for the mommy makeover full of liposuction. But anyway, yeah, I got organized. That was self-care. But here's the thing. What people don't tell you is you got to go beyond the self-care. You gotta, the first thing I think I could say to you is you have to set goals. I set goals. How old are you? What do you want out of your life? Do you want another baby? Do you not want another baby? Do you want to marry somebody with a couple bucks? Do you not give a shit about that? When you're in a loveless relationship and you're really looking for love, you have to really think about this. The second you're single, the second you figure out that you want to start dating again, think about what you want and how you're going to strategically get it. Write it down. Set the goals. That is the most important, because you do not want to meet some old Joe Schmo bum that you met on Christian Mingles, okay? And all of a sudden it's the first D you ever had in the last 16 years, so you're all hot in the pants and excited. Next thing you know, he's a full-blown sociopath and in thousands of dollars of debt. Okay, you do not want that. So that's my main thing. The other things I think you need to do, some little tips, little friendly tips from your girl. If you're going to sleep with the man, even if you're having an overnight, keep a little Listerine spray by your bed, okay? Because you probably forgot that your breath stinks in the middle of the night or in the morning, and that will remind you to use it. Have all your important conversations in person, not on text. So maybe with your husband, you're blowing up his phone all the time, you're arguing, text is just comfortable because who wants to even look at his face anymore, right? It's like, but have all of those important conversations with a new guy in person. I think that's a good one. Another tip I have for newly single, don't forget about STDs, okay? This is something, for whatever reason, this is like, I always think about this. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't. You probably do. But I've always been like so skeeved out, like just the thought of that. I think I've said this in past episodes. I'm not into one night stands. I'm just not, and it's not like I think I'm better than anybody. I just like can't do it. It's just like not for me. But I think you have to really think about STDs. Even if you haven't gotten with anybody in a long time, even if you were in a sexless marriage, you have to know that like this person, once you're single, this guy that you met, if you want to go home with him, fine, but you got to ask him. You got to ask him. Or if you really start dating somebody, have them get tested, Don't talk about your past breakups. Get your bush in order. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what the style is right now. No, I do. I think it's like naked, ew, or like a landing strip. I don't even know. Actually, it's probably full bush is probably back. That's what's probably back right now. Okay, I don't have that, but you got to get it in order. So you know what you got to do? You got to go to European Wax Center or go to one of these places. Go get a waxer and go sit down and say, I just got out of a 30-year marriage. What's the style these days? And she'll tell you. She 100%, she has a vested interest in making you look good because she knows you're going to be a repeat customer. Invest in Summer's Eve wipes. That's another thing. Come on. Are you even thinking about this stuff after you've been married for 1,000 years? How about this? Do a few TikTok dances to get your hips in order. Okay. I think that's another thing. Get a bedroom door lock. Okay. A bedroom door lock. I'm not saying that you're going to have men at your house. You have a son. Of course, you're not going to be a filthy hooker, but you probably don't have a lock on your door. I don't. So maybe you should get one. Private time. Mommy and daddy aren't in there anymore. Anywho. Okay. Products. Okay. I don't know about you, but my lingerie drawer, my sock drawer where I keep my stockings, literally looks like World War III. I don't know what the problem is. I know how to fold my underwear. I know how to, fold my tights in half and roll them up like a little ding dong. I just don't do it. I'm a disaster. So I was looking for something, an organizer. How can I keep this shit organized and have it look presentable? Like, I don't want my daughters opening up my drawer and thinking like their mother's a slob. No, that's horrible. That's horrible, right? So I found this product on Amazon. I love it. It's $16.99. The brand is M Design, so letter M Design. And the name, as all these Amazon names of the thing, I'm going to read it to you. It's insane. Get ready. M Design, rectangular, plastic, dresser drawer, divider, and closet storage organizer for lingerie, bras, socks, underwear, blah, blah, blah. Set of 3, clear white, $16.99. Listen, this is all it is. It's literally like hard. It's a plastic, heavy plastic, not hard plastic, heavy plastic. in a square shape with little dividing pockets. And it really makes my stuff so neat. It's nice. It's like I roll my tights, I tuck them in the little pockets, I fold my underwear, I put them in a little thing. Any bra and underwear sets that I have, I put them in a thing. There's another space for bras. You can literally just put your bra in there. You don't have to fold it in half, fold the cups in half. You just put the whole thing in there, and like you stack them like in a line, like how they do it at Victoria's Secret. It's really nice. I totally recommend this. I actually love it so much. I bought a second one to do it for another drawer. I recommend. And by the way, if you're listening and you have a better system, tell me, because I thought about, I should do this for bathing suits. Maybe I get this for bathing suits, but I don't want to go spend $17 on a drawer organizer, Anyway. So questions from the audience. Every week I do a couple questions from the audience. A few of my TikTok girlfriends, they send in questions. I pick them. I'm not an expert. I say this all the time. So here is similar to one of the other topics. It's the question is question 1. Elyse, I'm in a new relationship. Should I delete my pictures of my ex-husband from Facebook? Wait. Okay. I have been there, done that. So here's my answer. No, I don't think you should. I think maybe you should make your wedding pictures private, because if you have wedding pictures on there, or pictures of you like in the hospital maybe with your brand new baby, or going into labor or some shit like that, I think maybe you should make those private. Maybe pictures from your honeymoon, but I don't think you should take the pictures down of your ex-husband. That's your life. That's your life. Like, it's your ex-husband. You were married. Do you have kids? You were married. You have children. You're not hiding your life from him. But I do think that it sucks to see. I do think it sucks, like, for your new guy to see you, on your honeymoon, right? On the night of your honeymoon. Like, he doesn't want to see that. So I would slim down the social media pics in general. I would go through the pics. I wouldn't take down all the ones of the husband. I wouldn't. Because listen, he's your husband. He's your ex-husband. He'll always be your ex-husband no matter what. He's part of your life. And I don't think that you should just erase that, because it's so easy to on social media. And I don't know. I would feel bad. If my ex-husband, I don't even know what he did. This reminds, I should, because I have him blocked. I have that motherfucker blocked. I love him. I do. I still love, of course I love him. He was my ex-husband. He was the father of my kid. I have him blocked because he was stalking me. So I had to block his ass. But I should unblock him and see what he does. Because if he took down pictures of me, I'm going to be furious. I am. I don't care if he took down the wedding pictures, but of all pictures, come on. Anyway. Question 2. What book are you reading? Ooh. I love this question. I'm reading the Woody Allen biography, Apropos of Nothing. It's so good. It just came out. I was on pre-order for the book. It's just all about his life. I love his movies. I love the New York sensibility. I love everything about Woody Allen except his personal life. Really? Really? You married soon, ye, Woody? Really? What was that? Your stepdaughter or your adopted daughter? I didn't get to that part yet. But you married her? You sick creep. Come on. But he's a cinema genius. I love him. So I'm reading the book, and I totally recommend if you like that kind of thing. So we're closing it out with a quote of the day. Okay, this is a good quote by C.S. Lewis. Getting over a painful experience is much like crossing the monkey bars. You have to let go at some point to move forward. Isn't that so good? My daughter's doing the monkey bars. My older daughter, she loves it. And it's scary. Like, to get to one bar or the other, you kind of have to let it go and trust yourself that you're going to, the swing, the gravitational swing, whatever that is going to take you to the next bar. And it always does, right? Because she's focused. And that's like us. We have to, if we want to get over the painful experience, it's like crossing the monkey bars. You have to let go at some point in order to move forward. I just reread that. I love it. I really like it. Anyway, that's it, baby. That's it for today's episode of the Elyse DeLucci Show. As always, love you for listening. Do you want to review my podcast in the Apple Store? The Apple Store. I don't even know why I can't say that. An Apple Podcast. Can you review it? Anyway, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. But I'm excited to talk to you on TikTok. I'm excited to see you on Instagram. You can check me on ElyseDeLucci.com. Talk to you next week, baby. Love you.